Good evening, everybody. Match 12 of the 1987 Cricket World Cup was played today. It was the Group 2 match between Sri Lanka and Australia at Madras. The second game to be played in Madras in this World Cup. Sri Lanka won the toss and elected to field just like they did against India in... Sorry, I keep looking at the things that I've written down, the notes which I've written down. Just like they did in Calcutta a few days earlier. Remember, they gave up after about 18 overs after being something like 50 for 3 and batted out before 50 overs is to get 169 for 4 by chasing 253. So the pitch was quite slow and the outfield was a little bit slow, and we felt that there was two things were going to happen. Either Australia would struggle the first 10 to 15 overs and have to accumulate runs pretty slowly and then accelerate towards the end of the innings, or the pitch would still remain the same and get easier to bat on as the game progressed. Or with it being a day match, it would be like the match between England versus Kenya, which was played on a similar pitch in Bombay, where England struggled for runs and only got 244 for 9 and then bowled Kenya out for 112. But this is what happened in this match, and as you can see, the pitch played really, 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 really well. Still blurry. Sort that out. The pitch played really, really well, and a big surprise, really. Australia were absolutely magnificent. The highest score of the tournament. They got 270 for 5 off their 50 overs. A brilliant, brilliant batting display. Look at that opening partnership. 109 in the first 18 overs. That really set up Australia. That's much better from Australia. 49 for David Boone. Absolutely superb. 49 off 80 deliveries. 39 off just 44 for Dean Jones. He found some form. 23 for the captain, Adam Balder. 20 for Tom Moody in his first appearance in the World Cup. 19 not out for Steve Waugh, 15 deliveries, and 6 for Simon O'Donnell not out. But the main man, he was absolutely superb. 90 off 103 deliveries, and what turned out to be a man of match performance from Geoff Marsh, his second consecutive 50 here in India. He deserved 100. He was out when he was bowled off his pads. He reacted by hitting his bat into the pitch and shaking his head. He actually got a good ovation by the crowd and by the Sri Lankan players. Even the bowler, Siddhan Janathan, who took his wicket, was absolutely shocked to get it. But what a performance nonetheless. 90 off 103 deliveries. What an innings from Geoff Marsh. Not too much to shout about. They toiled hard, Sri Lanka, but Australia were fantastic with a bat. 20 for 0 for Avinda Silva. As I said earlier, 2 for 48. The best figures went to Siddhan Janathan in his first appearance of the tournament. 1 for 46 for Ramesh Ranekar. Ravi Ranekar didn't take a wicket. 0 for 41. He's struggling with the ball in this World Cup, the star bowler. 47 for 1 for Fire-10 John. He now moves on to 8 wickets in 3 matches for leading wicket taker in the competition, and 1 for 50 for Don Avasuri. Sri Lanka, well, they got off to the worst possible start. They lost a wicket in the first over. Mahanama went for a duck, and realistically, Australia were just too good with the ball, and in the end, Sri Lanka forced to bat out their full 50 overs again. Although they were a lot better this time, they tried, but having got 270, it was always going to be a difficult task against this Australian bowler attack. 30 a duck, as I said earlier, for Mahanama. 33 for wicketkeeper Brendan Kurupu. 15 for Ravi Ranekar, who promoted himself up to number 3. 15 off 30 deliveries. 18 for Rajan Managali. 19 for Dulit Mendis. 8 for Avinda Silva. 6 for Ramesh Ranekar, 3 for Siddhan Janathan, and 1 not out for Fire-10 John. But the main man there, brilliant innings, 85 not out of 116 balls for Arjuna Ranatunga, who's the only batsman that stood up against this Australian bowler attack. His innings was absolutely superb, but unfortunately, no one else really supported him, and in the end, Sri Lanka batted out their full 50 overs. We had the full 100 overs. What was quite an entertaining game. Played on a pretty decent pitch in the end. 0 for 17 for Balder, his first bowling performance of the tournament. 1 for 35 for Steve Waugh. 1 for 43 for Simon O'Donnell. 1 for 43 for 1 for 43 for Bruce Reid. Recovered pretty well after that harrowing 16 runs hit off the final over by Alan Lamb in the last match for Australia. Brilliant bowling figures for the star bowler Craig McDermott, 3 for 31. Superb figures. But have a look at that. 10 overs, 2 for 29 for the off-spinner Peter Taylor. He was absolutely superb. Remember, Peter Taylor was ill in the last match against England and did not bowl due to the fact that he was ill and vomiting throughout the entire innings. He felt a lot better today, and those figures for 2 for 29 off 10 overs proved how much they missed him against England and how much of a difference he would have made to the England match had he bowled. In my opinion, he bowled terrifically here. So the final summary of this Group 2 match, Sri Lanka versus Australia in Madras. Sri Lanka won the toss and elected to field first for the second game in a row on a normal pitch. We thought it was a bit slow. Australia batted superbly though. They made 270 for 5 from their 50 overs. And in the end, Sri Lanka tried their hardest this time, but just could not get the ball away and came up against a really good bowling and fielding performance from Australia. Sri Lanka full restricted to 211 for 8 from their 50 overs. Australia winning comfortably by 59 runs, and the man of the match, as stated earlier, for his 90 off 103 balls, his second 50 of the tournament, Geoff Marsh of Australia. Australia's first win of this World Cup, as you will see as we have a look at the table. Australia up to third, first win of the World Cup. Sri Lanka's next match is England in 5 days' time. Australia have got India in 3 days' time, so not a bad way to produce one of your best performances in the tournament. I'd say that's probably one of the best performances from the tournament for the team, along with Pakistan's performance against New Zealand in Bombay a few days earlier. I know Sri Lanka are the newest test playing nation, but Australia, to bat as well as they did and field and bowl as well as they did, was terrific. 12's match, New Zealand versus the West Indies. It's only West Indies' second appearance of the tournament, hoping to get another win. It'll be the 4th time they've played New Zealand in World Cup cricket. 4th time they've played New Zealand in World Cup cricket. They played them twice in 75 and won the group match, and then won the semi-final by 5 wickets in 1975, and then won the group match in 1979 by 42 runs. New Zealand's hoping to bounce back after their disappointing performance against Pakistan. This will be West Indies' first match in 10 days. Victories for the West Indies will put them in pole position. Victory for West Indies or New Zealand will put them in pole position to reach the quarterfinals. Let's have a look at the star players. They've had pretty good days today. Pretty good games today, the players for both countries. Let's have a look. Well, for Australia, let's have a look at the Australian innings so far. Now his average has gone up to 25. David Boone, 51 runs in 2 innings. Average gone up to 25. As for this guy, 250s in 2 innings. For Geoff Marsh, 152 runs in 2 innings, an average of 76. Had a very good start to the tournament so far. We'll be hoping to keep it going. Steve Waugh, 2 wickets in 2 matches and 76 runs in 2 innings. I'm not out today towards the end, averaging 76 with a bat and 33 with a ball. Craig McDermott, 3 wickets today, 4 wickets in 2 matches, an average of 20 and an average of 1 with a bat. As for the Sri Lankan players, an unbeaten 50 from Ranatunga, his second 50 of the competition, his second for Ranatunga, his second unbeaten 50 in a row. His average is just 161. His average is just 161 with about 161 runs in 3 innings. to go with three wickets. He's got 3 wickets at an average of 12 so far in the tournament as well. He took 3 wickets against Kenya. He took 3 wickets against Kenya, as far as I can recall, in the opening match of the tournament. So he's had a very good start to the tournament. As for Ravi Raneka, 1 wicket in just 3 matches at an average of 116. He's had a dreadful start to the tournament. And 22 runs in 2 innings at an average of 11. He got 15 off 33 ball off 38 deliveries at number 3. Was promoted to number 3 to try and get the run rate going, and he only got 15 and was out for 15 off 38 balls. So he's had a really poor start. Probably why Sri Lanka, that average of 116 is probably the reason why Sri Lanka have not really got going yet in this World Cup. Even though Sri Lanka have not really got going yet in this World Cup. Tomorrow's match, New Zealand versus the West Indies. West Indies looking to keep up their full 100% record in this tournament and their full 100% record against New Zealand. It'll be the 4th time they would have played New Zealand in the World Cup and the 3rd time in the World Cup group stage. So until then, for the Group 1 match between New Zealand and West Indies tomorrow, this is me, Lawrence Howard, reporting on the 1987 Cricket World Cup being played here in India on Prime Cricket and PlayStation. Until tomorrow's match, it's bye-bye from me.